Question 15. A solid object is made out of a hemisphere, so this is this part down here, the half of a sphere, and a cylinder, so that's the top bit. Okay. The radius of the common circular surface is 3 centimetres. So what we know is that basically, if I draw it on here, the cylinder and the sphere both have a radius of 3. The volume of the whole object is 63 pi centimetres cubed. Calculate the total height of the object. Right, 2 things to note first of all. 1, it's used pi in the question here, which means we're going to use pi throughout the workings out, and at the end we're going to have an answer that pi has disappeared from. Now, when it uses pi in the question here, and obviously we're on non-calculator, you're not going to do any calculations with pi, okay? So pi being 3.14 doesn't matter for this, okay? You don't need it. What you're going to find is, and this is what I showed you in class, is that pi is going to get cancelled out, okay? Right, the other key part, it's picking out that word that is linking this question to what we have to work out for the cylinder and the sphere, and it's the volume. So there are 2 pieces of information that I need. I need to know how to work out the volume of a cylinder and how to work out the volume of a sphere. But obviously we're going to divide it by 2 because it's a hemisphere. Now the sphere one is in the front of your booklet. So that's one you should know. You'll be able to discover for yourself. It's an easy one. So volume of sphere, and that is 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so that's in your booklet, so you don't need to learn that. The other one is the volume of the cylinder, and you need to learn this one. And basically, it's the area of the circle. So it's the area of the cross section, so pi times radius squared, and then it's times by the height. So we know these 2 things. We're going to divide this by 2, so we're going to do a little trick on that in a minute. And then we're going to work this out, and we're going to add them together because that's the total volume. And it says the volume of the whole object is 63 pi. So let's just go through each bit. So let's do the hemisphere first. Okay. So we've got 4/3 times pi times radius cubed, which is 3, so 3 cubed. And then we're going to divide our answer by 2. So let's actually just work that bit out first. So 4/3 times pi times 27 divided by 2. Now this divide by 2, we can divide the 4 by the 2, because it doesn't matter which part it divides by 2 because it works with multiplication and division like that. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So I'm left with 2 here. This divide by 3, I'm actually going to do 27 divided by 3, which is 9. So I've got 2 times pi times 9, and that's what I'm left with. And then that equals 18 pi. So I know the volume of my hemisphere is 18 pi. Okay, let's do the cylinder. So cylinder is just the full thing. So it's pi times radius squared times the height, and I don't know the height, so this is 9 pi h. Okay, right, so what we know now is the volume of the whole object is 63 pi, so 18 pi, which is the hemisphere, plus the 9 pi h, which is the cylinder, equals 63 pi. Now, this is where we're going to lose pi because it's in each part, so it cancels out. Okay, so I'm left with 18 plus 9h equals 63. Now, this is just an equation to solve now. So I'm going to take 18 from each side. Okay, so I'm left with 9h equals 63, 53, 50, 45. And then divide by 9. So h was equal to 5 centimetres.